Call this meeting of the Berlin-Boylston Regional School Committee Policy Subcommittee to order. The first thing we're going to do is review the September updates. And I had a link in there. It's quite extensive. Do you want to just start at the top and go through?
Yeah, how do you want to handle it? Do you want to discuss all the changes, or do you want to sort of, there's so many, maybe we just make a plan on who will review for changes? Because if we go through each one of these and all the changes, it's going to take hours.
Yeah, I took notes on here, but that's okay. We can do that's.
Or do you want to discuss them right now and
just
hammer through?
Well, actually, why don't we, since Nancy's here, why don't we? Do you want to skip? Do you want to move down and just do the finance ones first?
Sure.
Let's do that. Thank you. You're welcome. Let's get into that. I was quite taken by how many there were.
It looks like a lot on these, but it's because there's one for regional and one for non-regional. So there's really only like half as many.
Okay.
As all the rest.
Okay. So. It's interesting because I'm looking at, I see. What's interesting is the link is different than the policy newsletter. Policy newsletter for finance has a lot more, it looks like. There's DBI, which is not on this list here.
Right, it's not on the link, yeah.
Yeah, it's not on the link, it's on, let's see.
Is that this? I'll tell you why.
Is that the one? Oh, that's 2022,
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah. Well, then we can just scrap that one. See, we just need your expert eyes.
Team effort.
Thank God.
So we have DJ, DJA, DJE.
Yeah. Okay, so let's look at DJ, purchasing. Clarifies the responsibility for developing the purchasing program of the district.
But we should be looking at DJ.
Agreed. I'm just curious what ours looks like in comparison to this. That's what I was doing last night with the other ones, just comparing what we have.
Open it, I don't know what's going on.
These are, they're not even, it's not even close. The language is not even close to what we have.
And did you know what the change was?
I wish they would.
Well, first of all, these aren't even close to what we have. They're organized differently and the language is different. So, they didn't change from their version of DJ. They didn't really change anything except a single pronoun. Because they provide the track changes down below there. So they crossed out they and they replace it with the agent. But that doesn't really align with what's bird. It doesn't, it's just organized a little differently.
So where do you see the changes?
I don't see
At the bottom of that link, there's a track changes. Yeah, and then there's
Oh, and yeah.
put on the bottom there. Spin it around. Oh, yeah, you gotta go to the link that is the actual policy link.
Oh.
Yeah, click on the financial newsletter in that email. So we'll come to this here.
Yeah. Oh, and it's all there in the bottom.
Yeah.
We're DGA.
We're on DJ. Not a lot of changes. So our policy,
But you're saying our policy right now.
our policy kind of starts like halfway down there. See the bullet points they have there?
Yeah.
We don't have those. But then after the bullet points, there's, except for a couple words, it's watermarks.
Absolutely.
So they're not changing much in here, so I suggest we don't change it.
Oh no, when I hit download this newsletter, that's where it came from, that 2022, was from this download this newsletter.
Oh, so
Is that
they have the
interesting?
wrong- They have the wrong link then.
Yeah.
But yeah, so policy DJ,
Yeah.
they're not making any significant changes.
It's the agent.
I don't even know why, I guess. So I suggest we don't change anything.
It's completely different than our DJ though.
Well, yeah, it's those few bullets there.
I think it,
Lays out the superintendent's responsibilities.
I feel like it might also include, we have more than one, we have DJ and DJA, purchasing authority. We have purchasing and purchasing authority.
Well, yeah, DJ, that's the next one they're suggesting. We're taking
Oh,
this
there we
one-
go.
We're taking this one.
I thought they were combined.
Yeah.
I see that. Excellent. So, does anyone have an issue with that? The instead of the agent?
I'm not sure what the purpose is.
Where do I go to get to the existing one that we have?
It's, I'm in the subcommittee, oh, let me send.
Go to BBRSD.org for the
Yeah.
school committee. And then on the left hand side, 5 or 6.
I don't know if you noticed this with the other ones, but what I noticed is that they took out a lot of the statements about why we do what we do and turned it into procedure mostly. Did you notice that?
Let's focus on it. Focus on it.
No, but that's what I mean. I think that's what the difference is. Because instead of with all this flowery language in the beginning, it's telling you that the responsibility is, I think that's what they did. They just made it into more.
No, they didn't change any of that. Our policy does not have that on DJ. Okay, look at our policy and our manual.
Our policies don't automatically mimic. what
No, they don't.
They don't. They
No,
don't.
no,
Okay.
they don't. They're more guide.
Okay.
So look at their DJ.
Yeah.
Okay? It has a sentence that has 4 bullet points.
Right.
We don't have those 4 bullet points. But then the first paragraph after their bullet points, that's where ours starts.
Right. I see that.
Except for we have an introduction.
So I don't think there's any changes.
No, DJ, we don't really need to change anything.
So do you want to keep it? Or are we
We
going with
don't
their
need to
update?
change, we don't need to change anything.
So leave it.
This, yeah.
So DJ1 we're going to keep as is. I see what you're saying. So we have DJ1. DJA
DJ.
as the legal limitations of a public contract. The notes on longer.
So they added about,
So their TJA, their policy is says essentially the same thing as ours. Ours just is worded
They
different.
added in
They've added in something about contracts,
yeah.
and they added in a note about cities. Around cities.
Oh, that's what. I'm not in favor of that change with the contracts.
Contracts.
What's the difference in here in the middle where it says cost center appropriation? What is it? It's a GL.
Yeah.
Where you decide money.
Yeah, so their changes is they want town meeting to be able to control the length of contracts, which that's not good.
So what they're saying with this, with the cost center, is pretty much if we have a budget, if we purchase within those budget line items, we're fine, because you're within the cost center. So that's what that means. You know, if you get 5,000 for supplies at BMS, we can spend 5,000 for supplies at BMS. But we always have the school committee approve our budget transfers on top of it. So our
RDJA is very vanilla. It's got the same legal references, the same cross references. Lori, mark down on, or Nicole, mark down the minutes, the policy DJ. Let's just update our policy online to say review September 20th.
Should I make that draft and send it to Nicole?
Yeah, somebody, we gotta make
Yeah, I'll
sure
do
it
that.
gets into the paper.
Yep, that'll be me. So
And
Nicole,
for
I'll
all
send you
these.
that update.
Maybe say for that one, say, review, no changes.
Okay. That's a good idea. And we're feeling that way about DJA as well? You don't have that extra?
I think so.
Yeah.
So review, no changes. DJE.
Just change this.
It's interesting they got rid of all purchasing materials with $50,000. Get rid of some of the specifics.
Well,
No, they're going into an explanation there. They're changing around a little bit. So this was a change in law, right, Nancy?
yeah.
Oh, there it is, I see it.
So this has a requirement for all,
I recommend making those changes.
Yeah,
yeah,
what's chapter, yeah.
Yeah, because so they changed the whole chapter 30B procurement law. And that's what this is being updated. So we need to do that.
So they're changing it from 50,000 to 100,
Yes.
which makes sense when you get an inflation.
Yeah.
So this is DJE.
should we just accept? No, there's nothing in here but 100,000.
It's at the bottom,
Yeah.
the note.
Oh, okay. Should we accept their policy as is? Or should we spend the effort or the time to? So is slightly different. These have been updated over the years, and we may or may not have captured all.
The only thing I would change if we accepted theirs is where it says all the bids will be submitted in sealed envelopes addressed to the superintendent and/or his designee, his or her designee.
Oh, yep, so that's fourth paragraph down.
Yeah,
And or this.
just because.
Question I have, the sentence from the last sentence, that one, that maybe
No, that's entirely different. So it bids 100,000.
right.
That's, no. You don't do bids for that. You don't even need it.
Just over.
Yeah, 100. This is just quotes. Anything over 50, you need 3 quotes.
But you don't have to.
Yes. Right. Yes. Yes, to answer your question.
So Nancy, except for adding in that and or his designee, or their designee, is there anything else on here that?
I think this is great. I like it. It's clear.
It's pretty close to what we have too.
Yeah.
They changed it. Ours is 21. They changed it again to 22, which is the difference, would be a difference for administration.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so DJ and DJA reviewed 2023, no changes.
Yep.
DJE, we are putting out for the first read to the committee to accept their language as is with the change of the sentence that we're talking about, or the superintendent's designee range. And we'll put that out for first read to the committee. That agenda hasn't come out yet, has it? Let's put that out there on this one.
I'll try to do that before these.
Yeah. That takes care of the finance newsletter.
Does
Right.
Nancy have to stay?
And
You want to say anything?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay. I'm ready for you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm going to cut through your office. That's okay.
So Mike, now that we're looking at this,
The regular.
yep, the policy newsletter, there are 3 policies they want us to add. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 they want us to remove, and then there's all of these that they want us to review.
Yeah.
Or do you want to start with, would you like to do the top 2, or?
I would like to decide which, split these up in half. You and me each take, on the policies to review, this one 20,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
somewhere around there. You know what, since this one's on,
Oh, this
let's look at.
IHA, yeah.
Yeah, let's look at that right now, since that one's up on Tuesday anyway. Have a track changes here too, so. Their changes not really significant, they're just,
Yes, I had checked that off, because I didn't see, I also felt like, because ours is up as well,
Yeah.
So I guess the one thing that I would change on that would be the updated 2023, and then.
Yeah, we gotta update that. If we approve it on Tuesday, then we have to, we'll just update that
Okay. I mean,
when it goes into the meeting. The only changes they're making in there is they're striking out "in our schools,"
yeah,
which I guess they're just trying to make it briefer.
I think that's necessary, because why would you let all parents and guardians know unless they run out of schools? And I think it
Yeah.
really matters one way or the other.
Yeah, it doesn't matter one way or another, so
Yeah.
let's just leave it as is.
Yeah, I say we leave that as we can. And then,
And then the curriculum we offer versus curriculum that involves, I mean, that doesn't change the way that's in the streets, does it?
no. So we're agreeing to just leave what we have
Yeah,
in the
leave what we
drive.
have there, yeah.
Once it's approved or not approved, regardless, well, if it's approved, we will update it to updated 2023 from the MASC
Yep.
at the bottom.
Yeah. Or, well, when we update, if we,
Oh, because we didn't do MASC.
if we agreed to change it on Tuesday,
Hmm?
all we do, we just mark it that it was reviewed and changed, or reviewed and updated in September
Yeah.
2023. Just so we know,
Yeah.
we have a list of when this thing will last
Absolutely.
updated.
Okay. All right.
All right, but for the others. Policies to review, just you take the first half, I'll take the second half, and we'll review those on our own and come back the next meeting if we feel there's anything that needs to change. And let's focus on the adding and removing.
Yes, that's good idea. I like that.
And honestly, I mean, unless you want to go through and read and sit here and quietly read every one of these right now, and then figure out if we want to add them or put them on.
It's,
Service animals, I don't know that you can do much about that because that's probably based on law, right?
it is, and so is the first one, the
Yeah.
EFE is as new as required by USDA Food and Nutrition Services.
Yeah, so it's not much. So why don't we put EFE? What do we have for EFE? Vending machine procurement is what it's titled. So that's interesting. We have an EFE.
That is
See that?
interesting. Yeah, I do.
What is that? That's,
Sneaky.
well, how is an E, I guess support services is what the vending machine procurement. Somebody was upset about vending machines.
This is completely different.
Yeah, it's not,
It's not even close.
but this is obviously not an MASC policy. This is something somebody came up with.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Procedures there for USDA Food and Nutrition Services.
Yeah, so we used to look at some of these and, we'd say, who on earth would come up with this idea for this particular policy? And it always goes back to some point in history, somewhere along the way, somebody got upset about something, or somebody did something. Somebody
There's a reason for the sign.
bought drive-through coffee and burned themselves, and now they have to say this is hot and all that, So somebody somewhere probably tried to do something with vending machines, and somebody got upset about it.
Yes, it was. And also issues around wellness and taking it out of schools.
Yeah.
That were in cafeterias.
Yeah.
Available to students.
So that's a district policy that they just came up with and
Yes.
added that code to it.
So would we make this like EFE1?
Well, yeah.
And adopt the other one for EFE?
I think for future, for the ease of researching these things and figuring them out, then we should change our EFE title to something else. I wouldn't even do EFE because you don't want to confuse that with, they're talking about civil rights here, MASC, so.
Right. There's EFT, EFE, this could be EF.
And we talk about discrimination and equity and diversity all the time. Any person alleging discrimination in the food and nutrition program based on race, color, national, is somebody going to complain that we're serving pasta and that's a crime against Italians or something? I don't know.
It's funny, I felt the same way when I read this, and then I thought maybe I just didn't understand it correctly. It just, everything, it's non-discrimination.
I don't understand. I mean, anyway, it's a civil rights thing, so we probably should include it.
Absolutely.
Well, we should include it, not probably.
Yeah.
We just gotta figure out. Okay, so let's put this on EFE from MASC. Let's put that on as a first read for Tuesday. Okay, and as is. And as far as our current EFE, I don't know. I would change it to EVE for vending machines. How's that sound?
EVE.
That's, the good thing about this one, if you put it on the agenda, like on this there with us on Tuesday,
Yeah.
you might be able to give us more insight
Okay, cool.
in what that means.
Yeah.
So I should include EVE that we might
So-
potentially be changing
No,
ours
I'm
to.
sorry.
She's talking about the new one.
Oh, EFE, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
He would be able to tell us because to speak to that.
I mean, I understand, like, who wants to discriminate in anything?
Of course.
I'm sure some towns and cities may have an issue with this, but I just can't see that happening.
Yeah, no, I don't know, but I'm just speculating, could it be around offering vegetarian meals, as an option for culture or individuals?
Dietary concerns are not
Right.
listed as a protected class here, so.
But there could be cultures that don't. So you
Or
just have an
something
offering.
like that.
National origin, sure, it could be, halal or something like that.
Yeah, maybe that's what it, I'm speculating, but he can clarify that for us. I'll let him talk to you.
All right, so EFE
Yep.
from MASC on there for first read.
Yep.
The district policy EFE, proposed name change to EVE. How's that for, let's just put that on for a vote, because, let's put that on for, just get it done.
Right. So we have IGA and IGD. They combine the two. I actually put them side by side. And something that really bothered me was what they did take out. They combined the two together, and it says in here, updated combined policies IGA and IGD. Did you happen to notice that they took out the last sentence of, I believe it's IGA? It's looking at curriculum. They took out the and gathering input from parents and community, which bothered me because they're our taxpayers and they're the ones that fund our schools. So I
Sure.
feel like that should not be taken out.
So let's, why don't we put that for further review then?
Okay.
Take that back. Got it. Okay.
So then, next one. IMGA. Yes, that's specific to the service animals.
Yeah, we don't have anything in our
No, we don't.
manual for that. And I was reading that, and it reads a lot like the fair housing law stuff, so for rentals when I do them, so we should probably just put that on.
So should we put that on as a,
So we don't have a policy on this, Carol, but have we ever come across this situation of students ever, I know we sometimes bring in the therapy though.
Give me the policy.
Uh,
Sorry, like I was still looking at curriculum.
It's a new one they're proposing for service animals in schools. IMGA on that list.
We do have a service.
Right.
but this is specific to a student having a service dog.
Yeah, because we have the, is it Hannah, the dog's name?
Yeah.
Comes in the therapy
Yeah.
dog, right? We should get her into a, meet the dog.
Oh, that'd be nice. I actually really like that a lot. That's a great idea. Okay, there's something about miniature horses in there.
Yeah, I don't know the reason for that, but it seems like they're fairly decent service animals. So my question, Carol, is just, we don't have a specific policy on this, it doesn't look like, so had you come across in your experience a situation where a student has needed a service animal? I'm just curious,
Many, many years ago in Berlin.
and you just handled it normally?
It was brief because I'm assuming we moved out of
Okay.
the state, so we really, the dog was being trained for the purpose of being with that child, but when it happened,
No.
we didn't actually have the dog.
So
when the
we
child
know,
was
we don't have any experience with it?
Right. So no experience to date since that time.
Okay. I mean, let's put this out there for a first read too then. I mean, we don't have it in our manual, so might as well add it.
Well, it would be good to have this.
It's really thorough.
Yeah.
But it's very well written.
And I think, I don't know how, does it differentiate between service animals versus support animals? Like
Yes, it
emotional
does.
support?
As a matter of fact, it says service animals perform some of the functions and tasks that individuals with disabilities cannot perform themselves. Service animals are not pets. There are several kinds of service animals. And they give examples, and they say assist individuals who are blind or have severe sight impairments, so seeing eye dogs or guide dogs, alert individuals with hearing impairments to sounds, pull wheelchairs or carry and pick up items for individuals with mobility impairments, assist mobility impaired individuals with balance. It does not say anything about emotional. I believe there's something above that.
There's a paragraph in here on the second page there. It starts off, if in the opinion of the principal, the animal is not in control of its handler, is not housebroken, may be excluded from the school program, and it can be excluded if it presents a direct and immediate threat to others in the school. Like really, that's where they're talking about, that's where in housing anyway, people with pets and they try to pass them off as therapy animals with the fake certificates from online.
Yes, and if
That's
so,
what
not to-
you can't actually get rid of them in that case, but it looks like they're allowed in schools to handle that a little better.
Well, it's interesting too, I thought with that statement, service animals perform some of the functions and tasks that individuals with disabilities cannot perform themselves. It talks specifically about tasks.
Yeah, all right. Let's put that out there.
First read?
Yeah.
And that's for this meeting.
I like it, yeah.
Do you see anything in there too? We should have, be given documentation that animal is indeed a.
I don't think that's in here, and I don't think that's, yes.
To your point, right?
You
I
can,
agree
yeah,
with you.
Is that
the
something-
law allows, you gotta be very careful on that. You can't ask the question discriminating. I think you can ask what specific task does this animal do, which I think is kind of covered in this list here. That's what you can ask, right? So someone, like, in my experience as a landlord, right? Someone comes in and says, I've got a ferret that I want to keep in the apartment, and it's my service ferret. Like, I've had that happen, right? You can ask, you can't say, give me a doctor's note saying that you can't do something that the ferret does for you or whatever, but you can say, okay, what specific task can it perform? Do you follow?
And to follow, I just was thinking that if they're considered a service animal, usually there's
This paperwork that goes
extensive
along with that.
training that's involved, like needs down in Sterling.
That might be a question for
I was gonna say,
Janelle.
oh, it's a good point.
Maybe.
Or Kim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could have, we can ask
Yeah.
either one of those people. But I just wondered, does that go against anything with the laws?
Yeah, I would suggest maybe asking Janelle or Kim. on
So
that.
since we don't have that answer, should we move on this to the next one, or do you want to do a first read pending that answer?
We can probably get the answer by then, right?
Because the agenda comes out today.
No, but
Yeah.
the meeting's not till Tuesday. We can
So we
probably
can add
get
it in,
the-
okay.
Say maybe add it pending review or something like that. So add this for first read. Can we add a space holder in here then for language? I don't know how you want to say it. Language to the process to confirm or something like that. What do you want to call it?
So that would go on the agenda?
Put the policy on the agenda for a first read for people to review, because it's only for a first read, so there's time to make changes.
Right.
And then, yeah, ask Kim or Janelle about that. See what
Find
they
out
say.
today.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I want them.
I mean, just have them write an email or something.
Did you want to go over the policies we have removed, or do you want to save those for next time? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
We've already got a lot now on the agenda just
Yeah.
from this. Let's,
Do you want to table that for next time?
yes.
Okay, that's excellent. All right. Just like that.
All right, so then that takes care of the new stuff, right?
So, we had talked about the policy class size. I didn't know if you had been able, it's a lot that's been going on, Carol, and we only had our meeting a week ago. Were you able to speak to the administrators about their input on class size or not yet?
I did not.
That's fine, no worries. No, we didn't expect to have a meeting so soon. So we'll table that for next time. And I'll check with you ahead of time to make sure you have it before you put it on there. And then we have on here, we're gonna bring policy EBCFA forward for a vote this time, and we also have IHAMA. I have the notes from Lisa Mayer, just kind of as a sidebar. Were we gonna add anything in about the oximeter or leave it be?
No, that would be for discussion at the school committee meeting, I think, if they want to make that change at this
Okay,
point.
so that would be something we would suggest at the meeting.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I know at the last meeting, Jess said she was gonna send some stuff to Nicole, she did, okay, is it going into the draft?
Yep, I just put it in.
Alright,
Oh, great, thank you, I didn't know
alright, so
that.
that'll be there for people to look at.
Um,
And Lisa's stuff is in there too, probably. She sent some stuff in, right?
Let me give it, I'll send it over to you. I'm gonna write that. Just so you have it in one place. Unless you want me to put it in there for you.
Either one.
Either one. Perfect. That's right, divide and conquer, I like it. Okay. Carol, do you have anything about EBCFA or IHAMA?
I'm just looking at EBCFA. I just got something late yesterday afternoon from the nurse team,
Oh,
but I think it might be procedures. She might also be health updates about placements, actually about COVID,
Mhm.
what you need to do. I don't know how that ties into this, just about masks.
Yeah.
I wanted to be able to share that with you, but I don't know if it ties into this. I can print out the copies if you want to let me know.
Yeah, it's like.
yeah, let's do it, I agree. Thank you.
Things I struggle with because I don't know if it's policy or procedure
Yeah.
or.
That's always the question. Which comes first, the chicken or the egg?
Procedures are more, procedures are more your domain, Carol.
Yeah.
And the teachers
Yeah.
and staff and all that.
So while Carol's looking that up, I have as my future agenda items, there were significant March 2023 updates.
Yeah,
So I was gonna put those in the next meeting, but I'm gonna take a look at those to see, we might have done some of them.
okay.
I might bump that to the meeting after that, because usually it just comes out in September. And then the rest of the year, we're reviewing other things. So we can pace ourselves.
Yeah. We used to have our own internal schedule. Like
We did, I need to
Yeah,
print
right.
that out, yeah.
But it doesn't always coincide with what
With what
MASC is
MASC,
throwing out, so
yeah.
they're throwing out actual changes. We're trying to be on schedule, just what we want to do.
Right.
So it compounds.
Well, and it's hard when I feel like they do a big scoop and you get it all at once,
Yeah.
so it's very overwhelming. Like just looking at that newsletter, I mean, it was
Oh,
on.
yeah.
But I kept reminding myself, like, they do this in September and then sometimes in March. But did you feel like we got an update in March? I don't remember that.
I mean, there was so much going on.
That's what I think. I wonder if that's what it was with the
Right.
budget. Yes. I wonder if it just slipped through, because normally you or I will catch that. Thank you.
These are guidelines, but I'm not sure, I just want to make sure that we're on top of
Yeah.
these changes that are occurring because I emailed Janelle last time. Janelle is actually out sick and she said that she believes this information is coming from the DPH and they're just being more coming out. So I don't know how it ties into what this policy is, you know.
So we had gotten rid of the protocol. Or originally we had it, and then we took out the guidelines, and I believe we had it as if you're sick, stay home, if you're well.
Well, this is the 5 days, this is what the CDC changed to, right?
Yeah, it looks like Department of Health, which is pretty much just like the CDC.
Can read the email from Janelle, I just wanted to back to my question about having school committee looking at this. She said if our school committee policies follow DPH guidance calls for masks in some situations. This concludes with not requiring masks in BBRSD school supplies. Agree the language from the policy quoting Carol's message is general and could be more specific. She gave me a list of potential guidance topics from DPH. They offer guidance for K through 12, it's updated August 2022, but that's over a year ago. And then it says, the banner says that updates are coming this month. And it's what the school nurses are following now with the exception of the masks. So this is happening, but nothing on masks at this point. So maybe it's sort of a precursor to deciding whether or not masks are.
CFA that I have in here is the old one, because it says masks will be required in school. And
It
all
says
school
on
shops.
the state website right here, it says quarantine is no longer required or recommended. Right, so how does that jive?
Right there. And that's the state website?
Yeah, that's the link at the bottom of that page there.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, this hasn't changed since the last time I looked at it, has it?
Yes, it's not updated there. And even the one that I have in our drive is the old one, not
They are updated. Does
that need to be a link to the website?
Who's updating what?
This one, I wonder if that's an actual document. Or this is. You're saying BBRSD isn't
It's
updated?
not showing it on the website.
I'm not showing what?
The updated, what we voted,
The updated-
that we sent to MASC, that they,
The policy?
yes,
Policy EDCFA?
yes,
Okay.
when we're the mask,
Yeah.
were removed.
That's just masks, that's nothing to do with COVID testing protocol or anything like that.
Right,
That's
we're
just
talking
based-
about, sorry, we're talking about
There's
just
two
that
different-
piece.
But you're right, the old one that we had, there was one in between.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
one that
yeah.
we're proposing right now and the one that's on the website, there was one in between
Yes.
that never got over to MASC.
It did get over, they said they uploaded it into our manual so that the changes were made.
It's interesting because it's the old one in our.
The updated,
Oh, no, maybe it's
the
not.
updated face covering policy, all we changed on that was when the governor of Massachusetts declared the state of emergency over. We added that language and linked to it, so
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
that's what we changed. So you're saying that didn't make it onto the manual?
It says revised and approved Berlin-Boylston, June 6th.
No, that is, it's on there.
23, yeah, I was thinking of the
It's in
old
the
one.
Oh,
manual.
you
It's in
are.
the manual.
But
It might not be somewhere else, but it's in the manual.
The one that I have in the drive though is incorrect.
Can you clarify what you're talking about?
So in the drive, the
The drive for the upcoming meeting?
no, for policy subcommittee, I have the old E EBCFA.
All
I
right.
don't have this one or the one that we had proposed with where we crossed out mandate and put law.
Okay, well, no, it's right. The one in the Tuesday, September 26th meeting, the correct version is there. I'm in it right now. That is the exact same policy that is currently in our manual, except for the two changes.
The one that I just read, the third paragraph down that I took out of the policy subcommittee says masks will be required in all school health officers. Do you have that on there?
That might be what's in the policy subcommittee folder, but we're talking about the one that we're actually voting on, which is in the September 26th, Tuesday night. folder.
Okay, so I see, I was in the wrong
Is
folder.
correct.
Okay, I'm gonna go there and check, thank you.
And this one here that Nicole has in the Tuesday night's folder
Yep.
is the policy that is in the online manual, except for the changes that were proposed.
Except for
Yeah.
the changes, yes.
But that does not speak to what's on this link right here, on the state's website for protocols, because this doesn't cover protocols, it covers policies.
Just the policy. Probably, I'm thinking, I just wanted to make you aware of that because I didn't know if there was anything we needed to look at.
I'm reading what's on the state's website right now, and I mean, again, it's should and may suggest it's not required and mandated in law.
Can I ask where the EBCFA, I'm in,
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm
Go
in the EBCFA.
in the drive,
Yeah,
search September.
I did, I got September, I'm in
Okay.
26th,
September,
2023.
that's, yeah,
So I went into business items. I see E EBCFA face coverings,
yeah.
supporting materials.
Oh, sorry, it's from the 12th meeting that we had.
That's fine. Okay, so we'll add that one.
It just
That's
needs to
mine.
get copied.
That's
over
me.
to the 26th.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it, yeah.
Okay.
But it's the right one, it just needs to get into the 26th, it's in the 12th.
Yeah,
I thought it was in the 12th, 26th, but it was in the 12th. Okay.
yeah, and that's me, that's not.
Get it together, right?
I know, seriously.
Jeez.
Sheesh.
Um,
There's just so many versions of it.
So this right here, you're saying this is an email from the nurse?
Yes, nurse leader.
So this, I disagree with the way this is written, only because it says please test, which is a request or sounds like a requirement. The guidance on the state's website says self-test or whatever is, it doesn't actually say to test, it just tells you if you're going to test, this type of test is preferred over this type of test. We, back when we did the return to school and then the guidance changed multiple times after that, we came to the decision we're not, once the test supplies that we had ran out, we were not going to be buying more. We weren't going to be testing in school. If a parent wants to test, the parent can test. If a kid is sick, stay home. Otherwise, that's what we decided around that. So this doesn't really fall, if symptomatic, please test. I mean, if symptomatic, please watch your kid, keep them home.
Yeah, so
or
then I
that,
that should be clarified that it's a home test if they choose to.
if they choose to.
Please
Yeah.
consider testing at home.
Just like if your kid has symptoms of the flu, take them home and, you know, if your kid has symptoms of strep throat, take them home and get a strep throat test.
So are you stating that we should not be directing to test? It should just be
I'm not saying what we
choice?
should or shouldn't do, I'm saying
Yeah.
that's what the decision that had been
I
made.
yes, I remember. And I remember us looking at the state and where, following what they had decided, and that's why we went in
So-
that direction.
So maybe it was, should say, if symptomatic, please consider testing at home.
I mean, if the nurse wants to remind people about, COVID is an illness, I mean, that's not a problem, but we decided a long time ago, we're not gonna get into, testing at school and looking at COVID symptoms versus any other kind of sickness symptoms. If you're sick, stay home.
Like if you go down to the last bullet, and I think it's just, this clarifies it, that almost seems like it should go to the top. School
Yeah.
health officers will not be testing students.
Yeah, so that's in there, yeah.
So it's there, but it seems like that should go up.
Yeah, if you wanna move that up,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Did we get rid of the protocol, Mike? Did we say that, I feel like my memory, if memory serves me correctly, it was election season, so it was a little bit out of it. But I thought we had said that we were not, we didn't have this specific protocol, that it was suggested, but that we weren't requiring it. And that was if positive must quarantine for 5 days. I can't remember how we left that.
I think how we left it was, if you decide to test and it's positive, then do what they say to do.
Okay, that's how we left it.
But it's
Okay.
also apparent, just with any sickness. Like, I'm not really a fan of this, but my kid loves to go down to the nurse's office for every little ache and pain she's got. And she ends up coming home a lot because it's like a 99.9 fever, and then, okay, well, you gotta go home. And so we handle it how we handle it at home. If we think she needs to go to the doctor, we take her to the doctor. If we think she's just gonna, have some fluids and take an Advil or something, we do that, whatever it is. It's up to the parents. If you test for COVID, then follow the COVID protocol.
But we're not getting involved in your family's healthcare decisions.
Right.
We're not doing it. We're not healthcare providers.
So, I think, Carol, are you looking for what the nurses are, so the nurses want to know what to advise, correct? Is that kind of what?
No, she didn't ask that.
Oh.
She said this is the guidelines that we're following.
Oh,
But I
okay.
wanted to make sure is that what she's using as guidelines aligns with our policies.
Yeah.
So that we're not skewed with, we're saying we're doing policy and
Right.
we're doing something else. I think that's why. And it just got sent to me like late yesterday afternoon, so I kind of didn't have a chance to talk about it.
Of course not, yeah.
I just want to make sure if this is coming out, it's not going to go against what we have in policy. And it doesn't
No,
sound like, it's two separate
This
things.
doesn't, this doesn't,
Right.
this doesn't go against policy, but,
But we may have come to that juncture if masks are recommended again by the department.
If we ever got into a situation where masks were going to be required in schools, your team has a lot of work to do to demonstrate to the committee that we're not going to have any of the problem we had before the committee would vote. So,
The academic side.
Yeah, and we say that.
yeah, the academic side, yeah,
It's
that's the
said
term,
in our
right?
masking policy that we
Right.
would have to have all kinds of information coming
Yeah.
in to consider for that decision. Right, I understand.
It makes sense that
I think
they
maybe
would
it's
be-
just to make you aware of this. I didn't want this to be going out and going, we just voted, but they don't contradict themselves.
No, I think that's
Although
wise.
this
And
doesn't say anything about masking.
But it makes sense that they'd be sending this out now as we're heading into cold and flu
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
COVID and all, everybody's inside, so.
Right, and some of the medical fields and medical centers are
Yes.
requiring them
Again,
again.
some of the hospitals
So,
are. Yeah.
just being precaution.
No, I think it's wise. Absolutely. Okay. So leave EBCFA as it is for the vote. That's what was presented to the committee 2 weeks ago. We're going to keep that, right?
Sorry, I didn't-
We're going to keep policy EBCFA just as it is, as it was presented last time.
yeah.
Okay. And IHA, we already went over IHA. Is there anything for future agenda items that anyone feels should be on that is not on our radar right now?
You got a lot already.
We really do. I think we're on the full plate. So, is there anything else before I adjourn the meeting?
There isn't.
That's it?
That's it.
All right. I'd like to officially adjourn our policy subcommittee meeting at 11:02.